Welcome students. Now in this video we are going to see the various metal forming processes or the special metal forming processes. So let us start with the coining. I have drawn here the sketches for all the processes. That is very important. So see here in coining, what is there? So we know that the coining is a closed die forging operation. In that process, the pure compressive stresses are going to used. The stresses up to 1600 megapascal is used in the coining process. So here, see, this is the upper die or punch, and this is the lower die. The slug is kept here in the lower die, and we are producing the impressions of the die onto the workpiece. So the only thing is that the stresses here which are acting only lateral direction, so only the flow of material will be in the layer of the given slug. That is the main restriction in the coining. Please remember, coining is a closed die forging operation. The basic use of this is for minting of the coins or making of the medals or similar articles. So this is the coining process. Okay, then if you talk about the thread rolling operation, so this is actually the mass production process for making the threads on the screws or on the bolts. So see here the one is the stationary die and another is a reciprocating die. So having the shape of the threads on or grooves onto these dies. These dies may be the flat or sometimes the threaded roller also we can use here instead of this die. And we are having the workpiece here. This is the workpiece. It is rotating. So we are having the reciprocating action, and whatever the form which is available on the die is going to be onto the workpiece. The form is of what? The thread. So it is a thread rolling operation. Okay. Now we are having the spinning operation. So here we are having this the sheet is held against this rotating block, which is made up of, say, hard wooden block, or it is maybe the metallic block. So, and the sheet is held against it with this holding force. This is the sheet we have held. Now what we are doing, when this block is rotating, we are applying the force onto the this sheet by using the wooden or the roll. By using the wooden tool or roll, we are applying this force on this sheet so that it can get deformed on this spinning block and take the shape of that block. So this is the spinning operation. So it is generally used for making of the cup or axis symmetrical articles. Axis symmetrical articles, generally it is used for making the cups, cup like shapes. Please remember. So this is the spinning operation. And if this spinning operation, if this thickness is changing, or reducing during this spinning process, then this spinning is known as shear spinning. Shear spinning. If the thickness is changing, then it is known as shear spinning. Okay. Next one, we are having the tube piercing. So we know that we have seen by the impact extrusion we can able to produce the seamless tubes. We have seen it, but again by using this tube piercing operation we can also able to produce the seamless tubes. So see here, there are two inclined rollers, okay, are here, and into that if we feed the solid stock through these inclined rollers, so and it is the material stock is going to flow over the mandrel. See here, this is the mandrel here, and this solid stock or bar is going to feed on this mandrel, so to produce the tube. Okay, so this is the tube piercing. Again we are producing the jointless or collapsible tubes, but see here, for the exact sizing of the tube whatever formed by this tube piercing operation, we are sending it for the plug rolling operation. So whereby using the exact size of the plug we are getting the correct dimensions. So tube piercing is nothing but making the jointless tube or collapsible tubes by passing the stock or solid bar through the pair of the inclined rollers onto the mandrel. So you are making you are getting the tube. Okay. Now see, what is roll forging? So in the roll forging, what are there? There are two rollers which are having the semicircular grooves onto the half portion of it, isn't it? Two semicircular grooved rollers. So the material is fed between these two. Okay, and what we are having? We are having the reduction in the diameter of the rods, and once the half revolution of this roller completed, the material is rolled out, and again we are keeping that material into the smaller groove to have the further reduction. So रोल फोर्जिंग इज सिंपल थिंग. यहाँ पे क्या है, आधा रोलर तक क्या है, सेमी सर्कुलर ग्रूव्स बना है रोलर पे. ओके, सो complete revolution will be how this is half revolution and this is half revolution, that is a complete revolution of roll. So whatever the reduction in the rod that we are having to the only this, because of only this groove we are getting reduction in the diameter of the given workpiece, so that after this half revolution rod bahar aa jayega. Again you have to put for the another small size groove to have another reduction in the roller, reduction in the rod. Okay, then we are having this skew rolling process. So you can see here the rollers are skewed here. Okay, the rollers are skewed here. So this process is basically used for getting these large size balls in the which are used in the ball bearings. Okay, so these are the semi finished or rough balls which are getting by this skew rolling process, and this can be used further the large size ball bearings which are used in the cement industries. Okay, so this is the basic skew rolling process, where you can see the rollers are skewed and we are feeding the stock, and we are going to get what, the rough or semi finished, not exact finishing is obtained by after that is grinding is there, lapping is there. Okay, but here we are getting this semi finished ball for the bearings by using this skew rolling process. Now the last process that we are going to discuss is what, the stretch forming. Okay, so see here, many of the times whatever the metal forming processes that we have seen is that, so we can find out there the elastic recovery. So however we are deforming the material in the plastic region, but because of that spring back or the elastic recovery is always there in the metal forming processes. So here what we are going to do, we are stretching the material to the elastic limit. Okay, so no such a kind of thing, wrinkling or buckling of the sheet because of this compressive stresses. So here what is going to happen here, so these are the cylindrical jaws here which are going to stretch the material at the plastic region. So no any recovery is or no any spring back is there. And now what we are going to do, now you are applying the stress to at what shape you are going to bend this sheet by using this die. Okay, so this is the die we are applying against this stretched sheet. Okay, so which is already in the plastic region, so no any elastic recovery is going to happen. So that is why the name of this process is what, the stretch forming. So generally in bending operation, in many of the times huge compressive stresses are produced, and in such a circumstances there are chances of having the wrinklings or buckling of the sheet. So all these things are eliminated in this stretch forming. We are stretching the material at the plastic, in the plastic region only, and then we are applying the force, the compressive force by the die which shape you want on this sheet. Okay, so this is the stress forming operation. So these are the certain processes. Okay, these are nothing but what, the special processes apart from the regular metal forming processes. You just keep in mind that for what application, say coining is used for minting the coins, making the medals, etc. Okay, then main things we have to keep in mind. Suppose here only compressive stresses are required, the lateral flow of the material only. So you should know the keywords about every process, so that it can very helpful to you for the questions like in the match the pairs. Okay, 1 mark questions. So thread rolling operation, it is basically used for the mass production. Instead of the stationary die, we can use the threaded roller also. Okay, that is why the name is thread rolling process. Spinning operation, what is spinning, what is shear spinning? Shear spinning में क्या होता है? There is a change in thickness also. Only spinning, no change in the thickness. You are just pressing this sheet against the spinning block and you get the required shape. Okay, so tube piercing, it is one of the process which can make the collapsible tube, that is a tube piercing, by this keeping the mandrail between the two inclined rollers. See, the speed of operation is depend upon the how much angle that you have inclined these rollers here. Roll forging is simply what? Reduction in the diameter. Semicircular grooves are on the rollers. So we have to pass these rod through that. So half of the portion it will get reduced. Again for next reduction, you have to put in the next semicircular groove. In screw rolling, the rollers are skewed, and here basically you are going to get the balls, semi-finished balls, and later on these are get finished by the another processes and used in the large size ball bearings. Okay, then this is stress forming, we already discussed. So these are the main keywords for all these processes. Very important. There are chances to have the questions on match the pairs or single 1 mark questions. Thank you.